SAP Profitability and Performance Management. Sample content for airline profitability and cost management, modeling. Every enterprise wants to optimize profitability and minimize costs. SAP Profitability and Performance Management can help you do this by providing deep insights on granular revenue and cost information at the customer, product, or channel level. SAP Profitability and Performance Management comes with predefined sample content for cross-industry profitability and cost management, which is modeled on SAP best practices. This includes an end-to-end example of an activity-based costing model that's applicable to both actual and planning data. It focuses on profitability across route dimensions, and it incorporates a predefined process template with manual data input, calculation, and result review activities to run the model in production as well as for what-if simulation purposes. This is the application start screen, which offers role-based access to all relevant applications. For the design of a calculation model, we use the My Environment application. Choose My Environment style. All environments visible in Tree are accessible only when the user has the appropriate authorizations. Choose Services Industries, Airline Profitability and Cost Management, version 2, and continue. This is the modeling environment, where power users design and set up their calculation models. At the top, there is a global toolbar which links to various general functionalities. On the left, there is the function hierarchy, where we can find all modeled business functions. SAP best practices organize the business functions into 5 areas. The first of these, the Integrate Data Sources area, is where all connections to the surrounding systems landscape are located. In the Test Data area, functions that load data for subsequent functions can be used. The Data Input area contains all foreseen manual interactions with the execution users. For instance, to apply management overrides or update drivers. The Processing area contains the core heart of the calculation model, where all data is processed during execution. The Reporting area offers predefined reports, through which users may review the results and gain transparency using value flow diagrams. On the right, the details of the selected business functions are shown. Let's start with the modeling overview. This model is mainly about allocations, surrounded by a couple of data sources and reports. Now that we have a first overview, let's check out some further details. By choosing environment, we can see which fields are used in the model. In our case, almost all fields are external and reused with all their existing master data and hierarchy information, which is a good starting point to avoid any data redundancy and maximize reuse in an integrated system landscape. By expanding the Integrate Data Sources and Test Data areas, we can see the business functions underneath. For instance, the function plan and forecast data uses a model BW function, which can connect to external and internal business warehouse info providers like InfoCubes or data store objects. That is where we get our plan and forecast data from. In this case, function plan and forecast data is loaded with data coming from model table test plan and forecast data using writer function. All other data sources are connected here, like general ledger data and various driver data. Expanding the data input, we can see the business functions beneath that part. For instance, we have query function, which allows end users to check and update the plan and forecast data. A query function can be switched to editable, so the end users will be able to change the data if needed and see the impact of those changes after model execution. Once we hit the Activate button, we can test this out directly. The functionality looks good, so we can continue. The processing part contains the business functions responsible for the processing, calculation, and allocation of data. These functions produce all enterprise profitability results as a detailed multidimensional profit and loss statement. Union GL, plan, and forecast data is a join function and combines actual plan and forecast data from different data sources into one stream, which the same calculation rules are then applied to. Calculate additional activity drivers. This calculation function is used to calculate an activity driver, which is not delivered from a source system nor entered manually, but can be calculated based on some existing driver data. Assign aircraft and flight activity drivers to activity drivers is a join function and combines test activity drivers data and results from calculate activity drivers into one stream. Here's the allocation template. This is not used directly during the calculation, but rather, it just serves as template to define certain allocation settings centrally. Other allocation functions refer to this template, so the settings in the template overrule the settings in the individual function. For example, functions such as allocation type, result handling, and so on. Assign resources is the first allocation functions in our step-down approach, and it allocates GL plan and forecast data to resources. We also use an allocation to cover scenarios beyond pure assignments of the line items to resources, like using less than 100% of the amount or splitting the amount across more than one resource. Allocate resources to activities is a simple allocation, using the result of assigned resources as allocation sender data, resource drivers as allocation receiver data, and has one rule segment for allocation. Allocate activities to aircrafts, flights, and service classes uses the result of the activity allocation as a sender, and results of assigned aircraft and flight activity drivers to activity drivers as a receiver, and uses two rule segment to allocate routes and service classes. It also serves as input in subsequent function. Enrich final results unions the result of the aircraft flights and service classes allocation and all route information data. Also here, at any point in time, we can test the configuration by choosing Activate and Run. We can decide to look at the results from an end user's perspective by choosing Analyze, or from a data scientist's perspective by choosing Show. This time, we decide for Show. This completes the processing and provides the detailed profitability results. At the top of this results screen, you can select from all available filters, and the data below is filtered accordingly. In the middle of the screen, the data is shown like it is technically processed. Metadata is also available. For example, which formulas are applied for each record and which business function rule was applied. At the bottom, there is a detailed application log about all executed business functions. When we expand the reporting area, we see the various model reports available for end users to review the results on activity and product level, as well as one value flow report, which offers users end-to-end traceability from resources through all applied drivers to the final result. Such report configuration can contain a lot of detail. For instance, here in the review results query function shows cost and revenue per flight number. And in the value flow configuration, beside all relevant value flow characteristics, amounts and driver formulas can be predefined. Thank you for watching.